And DD India correspondent Amit Mukherjee joins us live from Delhi. Amit, what is the direction in which Ukraine peace negotiations are headed with another round of high-level talks between the US and leadership of Russia and Ukraine?
Well, Shubhendu, President Donald Trump has dispatched a very high-level team. It's a very unconventional team, which is now in Kremlin right now and is slated to have talks with President Putin in Moscow. Now, the thing is that along with Steve Witkoff, we have Jared Kushner, and also, of course, Marco Rubio is there. But interestingly, it is learned that President Donald Trump has also asked his ex-business partner and his son-in-law to accompany them. In fact, very unconventional sort of a team which is there right now in Moscow. But again, this is the team which also actually brokered the Gaza peace deal. So, I mean, it's a team that is capable of doing wonders as far as, US is concerned, of stopping wars, which, of course, President Donald Trump has been claiming in most of his speeches. But what needs to be seen is what has been thrashed out of this, initial 28-point peace plan, after several rounds of talks in Geneva and now in Florida. In fact, the Ukrainian delegation met the US administration team in Florida 2 days, and it was a 2-day-long meeting. And what has come out after that needs to be seen whether those things are acceptable to Kremlin at this point in time. Now, the bone of contention from the very beginning, has been the involvement of the European Union and other European countries as far as this peace, deal is concerned. Now, since beginning, US has, very, very categorically kept the European partners out of this peace deal. But, Zelensky has been pushing for their inclusion. Now, the thing is that now what has been worked out, if you look at the initial deal, it talked about scaling down the military strength of Ukraine, also giving up on certain arms requirements by them, and of course the territorial issues. Now, what has to be seen is now after these negotiations that have happened with the Ukrainian delegation, what has come out, whether that is acceptable to President Putin, Russia's president, at this point in time. Now, Russia's president has also been, questioning the legitimacy of Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelenskyy as far as signing the peace deal is concerned, whether he's at all, capable of, signing a peace deal on behalf of Ukraine is concerned. So pressure has been on from Russia to ensure that those initial points which were put in that 28-point deal is kind of adhered to. Yeah.
Right. Amit, just a little more on that point that you mentioned about the earlier 28-point peace plan now carries some 19 points. Do we know what has changed, especially with regards to the territorial sovereignty of Ukraine that Zelensky has reiterated is most significant for them?
Well, Shubhendu, if you see, of course, Ukraine has been saying, every time there has been an effort as far as the peace deal is concerned, it said that it's willing to cooperate. But on ground, it has not been accepting certain things, and the territorial issue is one of the issues. Now, very categorically, the initial deal which was actually worked out between US and Russia, it maintained that certain regions which has been now been under the control of Russians, they have occupied over the last 3 years. Those will have to be surrendered to Russia by Kyiv. Also, certain regions like Donbass, which is currently under Kyiv's control, that will also have to go, to Russia. Now, whether that is acceptable to Zelensky or, Ukraine, that has to be seen. But yeah, of course, even in the latest statement which Zelensky has made, he's talked about that they are not going to give up any of their territories. So if that kind of a stance holds, of course, then it will be very difficult for the peace deal to go ahead. Also, they have not been, very, very, it was not looked at Ukraine accepting the other plans, including scaling down their military and also the weapons. And in fact, in the last meeting also with President Macron, Zelensky also involved over a phone call the other European partners, including Germany, Italy, and UK, and others also. So what one has to see right now whether those things which have been worked out again is acceptable to President Putin and is acceptable to
We'll have to wait and watch, Amit, also what comes out of the latest rounds of deliberations between the leaders. Thank you for joining us with those insights.